I'm right here. Let's go.
I'm glad you got that reference.
Yeah.
Such a good movie. I haven't seen it in a while.
I was listening to the Mad About Movies podcast, and they did a retrospective of the whole Dark Knight trilogy. And they're talking about how the Dark Knight is a perfect film.
Yes. I think it's pretty close to a perfect film.
Still holds up.
I think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what does that have to do? Quick.
Hey,
segue.
Because Batman was one of our most Pantendo characters, and our most Batman Pantendo character was Samus.
Okay.
From Super Metroid. We're talking about the Metroid series today.
They're related. It's kind of like the bacon rule.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. 6 degrees of Batman. We need to have that. So, the Metroid series is in peril. We don't really... I mean, we've had Federation Force.
Yeah. It's sad to me.
It's just
Reggie can do so little as wear a Metroid pin to, like, I don't know, some event, and the internet buzzes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do this.
Yeah, they do.
They type.
What could it mean? And then Reggie's like, I just wear pins sometimes.
A Metroid game where you play as Reggie. That's what I want to see. In his suit.
You complete the game in under 1 hour and Samus takes off the helmet.
Reggie. Yes.
My body is ready for this screen pose.
Yes.
Well, let's take a quick look at Metroid's recent history. The last Metroid game we got didn't even feature Samus.
No.
I'm going to give quick spoilers for Federation Force. You shoot Samus.
Oh
in
my
this
goodness.
Game. So not only are you not playing as Samus is the bad guy. The game before that had misguided storytelling, got a lot of backlash.
Yeah.
I think maybe if we were females, we could be more upset about how it was handled.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, we accept the game, we enjoy it for all the good things that it has.
That's Other M. Just to clarify for people who are wondering, what was before Federation Force? It's kind of hard to remember.
So long ago. And kind of heavy-handed storytelling about Samus and Adam Malkovich.
Yes.
Nintendo Land had Metroid, though, and
yes,
that was a great mode.
Fantastic.
I loved playing with Tom and playing with you. Just trying to beat all the levels, get all the stamps and the accomplishments. There's a lot to do in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Different modes. Versus and a co-op campaign. I mean, it was great. I would take more of that, for goodness sake.
Seriously.
And that's the place where a lot of Metroid fans are right now. They're like, we would take...
anything.
Pretty much anything.
And there's so many fillers that are being made. People making stuff like Axiom Verge that are just like,
yes,
I'm not going to wait for another Metroid game to come out. I'm just going to make it. Or AM2R. I can't ever remember how the letter.
There's another Metroid remake. I
really?
forget the name.
Other Metroid remake?
Unrelated. But yeah, we had a whole show about that.
Yes.
And you know what? They sell. Unless they're these bootlegs, then they get downloaded for free.
They get downloaded for free until Nintendo boots them away.
Yeah, indies are picking up the slack on this.
Yes.
And we have to take like an honest look at the series. And when Nintendo doesn't make games in a franchise, it's usually because they don't sell super well.
Yeah.
And that is true for Metroid.
That is so depressing that that's true.
I know. It's weird because it's like... it's a smaller fan base, but they're super vocal. Of all the Metroid griping and missing that you read about online, you'd think that there are just millions, plural, of fans that want Metroid. But really, there's 1 or 2 million people buying each game.
Yeah, Metroid Prime is the best-selling with 2.82
That's it.
million.
That's it.
Sold. That is crazy.
Yeah.
To me, it's like... oh yeah, if they've dropped a Metroid thing, everybody's gonna buy that.
But a system seller.
Yeah, but if you look at it historically, it's not the case. Metroid Prime Trilogy, which was a fantastic game, you know, probably my number one game next to Mega Man X Collection, if you're counting collections.
Yeah, and if not, Smash Bros.
Yeah, 0.65 million units.
Oof.
Less than 1 million units for the greatest game ever.
Yeah.
What in the world?
And that one might actually have been due to limited quantity.
That is true.
More of a collector's thing.
That is true.
Because I know that any copies you find now are really expensive.
Yeah,
so
$80.
I don't think there was any excess in inventory.
But the thing is if you look at other series, and once again, it's just pointing back to these numbers here. If you look at other series, if it's a collector's edition, they still release more units.
Yeah.
They still sell more.
Gotcha.
It's just, but maybe it's just a vicious cycle of...
Metroid Prime Trilogy might have came a little bit too early. I would have liked to see it in HD, like waited until Wii U. I think that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But it's really not the best-selling franchise, but it has possibly the most passionate Nintendo fans.
Yes.
So, why did Retro ever stop making these games? The best-selling Metroid game was made by Retro.
Prime.
Seems like their talents are kind of wasted. Nintendo moved them on to like helping with Mario Kart and then Donkey Kong.
Such a great studio.
Yeah.
I mean, what they've done with Donkey Kong Country is pretty great, but still.
So, after taking an honest look at these numbers, my advice to Nintendo would be maybe take the series back to 2D, do some cool things there, as cool as you can get it, but if you can't, if it doesn't make return on investment sense to have a whole 3D game and all of the staff that go along with that.
Yeah, make it a little bit more affordable.
You can serve the fans, you can make it 2.5D, you can have cool art style, you can do cool story stuff. But you can do it affordably. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think the series they're not taking some obvious choices like they should.
No, it's true. You know, they tried something new with Other M, didn't really quite work out for them.
Yeah,
but at that point you don't just stop or just like completely take Metroid Prime and then just kind of morph it into this weird chibi thing.
Yep.
If you do look at we talked recently about the different development teams. If you look at the development teams, Group 3 from one of the buildings has, I think it's the Tokyo building.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but they're the ones that do the 3D Metroid games, or the Metroid Prime games. They've been putting out Paper Mario and Donkey Kong Country games, and Federation Force.
Yeah.
But if you look at Group 1 from that building, the one that does the other Metroid games, they had like Game & Wario recently.
Oh, I hope they've been busy.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hoping is if you look at that group, it's like I'm not seeing a whole lot of action there. Yeah. Does that mean that a big 2D Metroid game is going to drop?
I mean, the best time to announce and release a Metroid would be like announce it at this E3.
Yes.
While the Switch's install base is still small, because like the Venn diagram of the 1 million Metroid fans and then the people who bought the 2 million Switches probably almost completely engulfed.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So release it while the console is new. It'll create the most hype around E3 possible. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be a system seller. They could even later in the year or later in time, maybe next year, package Switches with that new Metroid game. That'd be great. Be a system seller.
The only thing that possibly gives me hope is that on the January 12th Switch event, Reggie was grilled about these neglected franchises, and he said, talk to me in 1 year, and we'll see what has happened. So you can bet that on January 12th, 2018...
We better know something.
If I have not heard, Reggie's going to hear from me about me not hearing from him.
Oh, yeah.
Because when he says something that specifically and that hinty...
Yeah, he better be delivering.
It better not be empty.
Nintendo's usually pretty truthful when it comes to this stuff, unless it's another game that they're working on and then we don't find out until after it's been canceled that it was a thing. So hopefully not.
So if we don't have a Metroid game announcement by that time, We will drive to Nintendo of America headquarters.
Yep.
We'll print out like 5,000 sheets of paper that just say Metroid. We'll like tape it on the outside of every window. We don't even have to break in.
Or even You Promised from Metroid fans.
Yeah.
Just like put his own words on a little piece of paper and say, You Promise.
Hashtag You Promise.
Yes. Make it a thing.
All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the crew.
Don't forget to check out the twobuttoncrew.com website where we have content every single day of the week, including Saturdays and Sundays, which is our blog day.
Those are your days of the week?
Yes, they are. I know, it's hard to believe because, we only have our regular videos on weekdays.
See you guys next time.
Signing off.